Response exports from Gecko allow you to tell Gecko to only include people who have submitted a response to a particular form and then pull some really varied information on that particular cohort. You can get started by going to Settings, navigating to Export Data, and clicking New Export in the top right hand corner. From there, pick Responses. Again, what we're going to do is be selecting a Gecko form that students have completed, and Gecko is only going to include people who have submitted at least one response to this particular form. Give your export a name and then choose who you want to send this to. So you can pick multiple users on your Gecko account to send this to, or external stakeholders who aren't Gecko users at all. You can then choose to filter your responses. So do we only want to include responses that have been captured by this person who was logged into the Capture app at a particular event, or people captured at this event, or potentially more usefully, responses that have come in the last number of hours, days, or weeks, or an absolute date range like the 1st of January to the 1st of February. From there, you get the ability to customize the export in its entirety. So what format do you want your data to take? And effectively what we're building here is, on the CSV file that we're going to be exporting, what column structure do you want? So currently we're telling Gecko the first column, column A, should be the full name field, and then specifically what data do we want there? Maybe we just want the first name in that particular field. And column B, perhaps we want just the last name. All of the column headers can be totally renamed as you run through, and different fields have different options for what you want to actually pull through into this requisite cell. It is worth pointing out that Gecko supports both the ability to export current fields that are on the form, and indeed if there are any fields which have been deleted from your form, which were on there in the past, you'll have the ability to add archived response fields. So Gecko allows you to have that full data tapestry even if the form changes over time. In addition to being able to export information from the form and the response fields itself, you can choose to add additional sections, and you can add attendance information from events, information from the contact record, consents, organizations, calls, etc., all of that good stuff. But in addition to that, you get two very specific response type fields. For example, you get the access to the metadata, which allows you to pull in who captured the response, where it was captured at, when it was created at, any UTM information or notes. And in addition to that, you also get GeoIP information. So if students have filled in the form online and on the web, you can pull in information on where roughly they are based on that IP address. When you're happy with your response export and everything set up correctly, you can choose to tell Gecko, is this a recurring export that should happen time and time again, or just a one-off export? If you do opt for the recurring option, you can set this to hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly, and you can choose an optional end date if you want a hard stopping point, or just know that if you do set this to run forever and ever and ever, you can manually come in at any time and pause or stop the export entirely. You can choose to push this also to your SFTP server if you have the information, and when you're happy with absolutely everything, with the layout and the structure, you can choose to save this as a template. So next time you come into the exports, you can just load your previously created export and hit the export button to trigger it.